Tape number 1. "911, what's your emergency?" "Get someone out here now." "Sir, I need your name and address. Are you in any danger?" "God damn it. This is Jimmy Sherwood, 9 Howard Shell Lane. Some folks broke into my damn barn, and they're making all sorts of racket. Y'all better get down here and arrest them before I start shooting. I got my cattle in there. Who knows what the hell they're doing?" "We will send an officer to your location immediately. I need you to go inside and lock your doors. Do not fire your weapon. An officer should be there any minute." "Well, hurry up. I can hear someone screaming in there." "Help is on the way, Mr. Sherwood." That was the end of Tape 1. My father was a police chief in rural Wyoming for 25 years. I found these tapes hidden in his office while I was cleaning. They were in a false bottom within his desk. The tapes are becoming more disturbing as I listen. The following is tape number 2. "Wilson, do you copy?" Affirmative, go ahead." "We have a possible break-in at 9 Howard Shell Road." "That's Jimmy's ranch. What's going on?" "I don't know. He says some folks are in his barn, and they're making a ruckus." "At Jimmy's? Are you sure?" "Affirmative." "Copy that. I'm on it. Stand by. I'm about 5 minutes out." "I need backup immediately. Put your hands in the air and drop the knives now." "Wilson, I'm sending backup out to you. What's going on?" I've got five armed people here. They're dressed in black hooded robes. Each is armed. I repeat, each is armed." "I said get on the ground now. Drop the knives. Keep your hands where I can see them. Get on the ground." "Dispatch, are you there?" "I'm here. Backup is on the way to your location." They're not moving. They're just standing in a line like statues and looking directly at me. Something is wrong. They're not responding to my presence at all. They're muttering something, but I can't understand what they're saying. I said drop the knives or I will shoot. Backup is 10 minutes out. No. Stop. Oh no. Oh my God. Dispatch. I need an ambulance out here immediately. Wilson, what is it? They just slit their own throats and fell to the ground. Oh God, there is blood everywhere. I have a woman here as well, mid-20s, black hair. She was buried in the hay. She doesn't appear to be conscious. She's in a white dress and appears to have suffered massive blood loss. Ma'am, can you hear me? I am sending an ambulance to your location now. She has a baby in her arms. The baby is covered in blood, but seems to be conscious. I need to get them both to safety. Get ambulances here for the rest of them. I have the baby. Oh my God. What the hell? The woman. She's conscious now. Ma'am, I need you to calm down. What's going on? Wilson. She has no pulse. Where is that ambulance? I'm taking the baby to my car. It's too cold in this barn. Jimmy, what the hell are you doing? Jimmy, drop that thing. Jimmy, no! Dispatch. Do you copy? Yeah, copy. Jimmy, he just jumped into his own pond. Come again, Wilson? I don't know what's going on. I walked outside the barn with the baby, and Jimmy was just standing outside with 2 cinder blocks in his hands. He was standing there on his dock muttering like the men in the barn. Then he threw one of the cinder blocks at the ice. Oh my God. He looked right at me. His eyes were pure white. He just jumped into the pond. cinder block in hand, and never broke his stare. Oh God, he held on to that other cinder block the whole time. He didn't struggle or nothing. I don't know what to do. Why would Jimmy do that? What the hell is going on? Wilson, stay there. Backup is close, and they will take care of things at the Sherwood Ranch. Wilson, come in. Do you copy? Wilson, come in. I can't hear you. Wilson, I said to stay there. Where are you going?
That's when the tape cuts out. That was the end of the second tape. I am searching the office to see if I can find more. This is a really messed up experience that I recently had, which completely vanquished my skepticism regarding the paranormal. So, I came to know about this weird urban legend known as the elevator ritual. The other world sounded really intriguing, and I decided to go ahead with the ritual one fateful Saturday evening. I live in a flat on the 11th floor of a building, so despite popular advice, I decided to perform the ritual in my own building, using the elevator I use daily. I walked out of my apartment with a steely resolve and reached the elevator. Something in my mind advised me against what I was about to do, but my skepticism got the better of me, and down I went to the first floor in order to begin with the ritual. As I heard the ping of the elevator as I reached the first floor, I went on with the 4-2-6-2-10-5-1 routine. Not a damn thing happened, although my heart was in my mouth out of anxiety and anticipation. There was no woman on the 5th floor, and the elevator didn't ascend to the 10th floor as soon as I pressed the button for the first floor. This was a huge ego boost to my skeptic self. I returned to my flat using the same elevator, feeling victorious. However, as the night went on, I just couldn't sleep. I usually have such a hectic day. I am sound asleep by 11:30 p.m. at max, but something was really off about that night. I twisted and turned on my bed the whole night and woke up exhausted and covered in sweat. After my chores, since it was a Sunday, I went out to get some groceries. To my surprise, the damn elevator was out of order. I immediately made the mental connection of the damaged elevator to my performance of the ritual. I got very intrigued. I took the stairs, went out and got the groceries, and had a pretty normal Sunday. By 10 p.m., I was all ready to sleep when I heard a loud and shrill cry outside my door, which was really strange, as the only other people on my floor were out on vacation. I went out to inspect the noise, and I saw wet footsteps with a slight maroon tint to them, kinda like mud but slightly redder, like somebody had a slight cut on their feet after walking in some muddy terrain. I followed the footsteps out of my stupid curiosity, and to my utter shock, they led to the elevator, which surprisingly was no longer out of order. Something in my mind compelled me to get into the elevator, to go to the ground floor and check out with the security guard who had signed in to visit the 11th floor. And down I went. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. The elevator's door opened slower than they usually do, as if unveiling something grand on the 5th floor instead of the lobby I was intending to go to. A woman with dark hair, wearing a black tattered evening gown, entered the elevator. Something inside me clicked immediately, and I wished I could have run out of the elevator. However, something in me froze, disabling me from moving. My gaze fixed at her feet, and I understood the source of those footsteps. Worn and torn skin dangled from her feet as if she was rotting from the inside out, and the smell, nothing can even be close to it. It was like a bunch of rotting corpses shoved into one person. As I looked up at her, she had a grin on her face, that evil, sinister, spine-chilling grin which washed away my skepticism forever. At that point I knew the only way I was getting out of the elevator alive was by completing the damn ritual. I pressed the button for the first floor, and the elevator began ascending upwards. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. As much as I wished to get to the bottom floor and run out for dear life, I had this primal compulsion to run out as soon as the doors opened. I now understood why people get off the elevator on the 10th floor, despite it being so risky. You just want to get away from that woman. As I ran out, her voice was in my mind. "Where are you going, Sammy?" Scared shitless, I ran, only to discover my utter solitude in the other world. It was like the hallway was endless. I couldn't get away from the elevator, no matter how far I ran. I was stuck in some sort of loop. I briefly caught the sky outside through the corner of my eye and saw the reddish sky which I used to treat as fictional crap upon listening to other experiences. There was even a fable burning in the sky. As soon as I saw it, I couldn't move away my gaze as if I was in a trance. I summoned all of my will, looked away, and pressed the button to summon the elevator. To my surprise, and contrary to what I've read otherwise, the elevator opened up instantly. I got inside and reverse performed the ritual without any interference, surprisingly. Down I went to the first floor and canceled the ascension on time. I rushed out, traumatized, scared and scarred. I took the stairs to the 11th floor, to my apartment, and crashed senseless on my bed. As soon as my eyes were shut, I was back in the other world. This time my run was accompanied by her chase and followed by a sudden wake up. I went through my day as bravely as I could, fearing the night and the sleep it contained. I tried to stay awake as late as I possibly could, but I don't know when, I was back there again. This time she was dead ahead of me. I had no way of escaping. Her long, torn-out finger touched my abdomen. I was completely frozen. It was like a proper sleep paralysis. Her finger went through my skin and into my body. I felt a jolt of pain and woke up with a startle. I was burning up. I had a dark red mark on my abdomen. Scared to the marrow, I went to the ER. Internal bleeding it was. That's when I knew I had to seek help. I went through some cleansing rituals on the internet, lying on the ER bed. The pain meds were kicking in. My lightheadedness came up with a fear of despair, as I knew I wouldn't wake up from another sleep. I dragged my body to the chapel in the hospital. I prayed to God for the first time in my entire 25 years of life, just to keep me alive for one more night. I really don't know when I slept, but the next thing I remember was waking up to the sound of the janitor cleaning up the chapel. I realized I had gone through the night unscathed. I immediately checked out of the hospital, bought some sage, cleansed my entire house, and myself and my surrounding premises. It's been a week without any night terrors. However, I constantly feel a presence watching me as I get out of my house and cross the elevator to take the stairs. I know for a fact that I am alive as long as I have my faith.